It's fine.
Oh, you call me Mitch, it's cool.
Okay. So, Mitch, what do you do?
I'm a producer, artist.
Where are you from?
I'm from Miramar, Florida.
What part of Miramar?
East Miramar.
Miramar.
So you know about the parts.
So tell me about your childhood growing up. How was that?
Growing up was, I think it's different from a lot of my peers because I'm Guyanese, so like my next door neighbor was Haitian, the other next door neighbor was Bahamian, dude across the street was Jamaican, so I kind of grew up in a Caribbean atmosphere, so like going to school I didn't really have a lot to relate to. My classmates, they were talking about like the movies and football, and I just do soccer and shit like that.
Okay, so how was high school for you since you didn't know all those things?
High school was different though. I moved up to Akron, Ohio, and I was living with my dad and my stepmom at the time, so it was like by that time I kind of got used to, you know, kind of the American culture, so it was cool.
So you're originally from Ohio?
No, I'm originally from Florida.
Florida. But you moved to Ohio?
In high school, yeah.
In high school. Oh, so that's what this high school you attended in Ohio, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So, did you go to college? You attend college?
Yeah, I attended college from South Carolina State.
So, how did that go? Wait, let's go back to high school. Did you play any sports in high school?
Yeah, I played basketball and football.
How did that go?
It was good. I was a beast.
What you rate yourself in football?
I don't see nobody really competing with me. Like, yeah.
Did you get recruited? D1?
Yeah, I got recruited to Division 1. South Carolina State Division 1 school.
Okay. So, how was football in college?
Football in college was cool. I learned a lot. I became a better person, and I learned how to go through, deal with adversity a lot better. It definitely made me a better person.
So, how's your grades looking in both high school and college?
My grades in high school was it was okay. I don't know, my outlook on school is always different because I always knew that the stuff I was learning in the classroom was not really going to prepare me for real life. Like, they weren't teaching me about how to deal with taxes or how to establish credit, you know, like home mortgages and equity. I wasn't learning that stuff in high school, so my outlook was just, you know what I'm saying, I'm just do what I gotta do. Like, I was never a dumb student. I would just do what I needed to do. But I would always read like books on the side or ask my dad about stuff or ask my cousins about stuff, like real life things, so I could survive outside of school.
Is that the same strategy you used for college?
Yeah, college was a little different because I went to school for business marketing, so I knew that the classes I was going to be taking, a lot of the information I would be able to take and use in the real world and be successful in business. So college was definitely more edifying than high school was.
So let's go back to college football. How did that go? Are you still playing college football right now?
Nah, unfortunately I got hurt in my senior season. I went to Campbell. I was in grad school at Campbell, and I got hurt. I tore my ACL, PCL. Basically, I blew my knee out. So yeah, when that happened, that was like the third game of the season. I had coaches like the Browns, Jaguars, Cowboys, Giants, like just name a team. They were all coming to my practice in hopes of coming to the game and see me play. So when that happened, it was like I had a dream, and it was like everything just got completely shut down.
So, like, how did you feel? Like, when you experienced that injury, like, how did you feel? Like, what was going through your head?
When it initially happened, the guy landed on my leg, I felt the pain I never felt in my life. And it was literally unbelievable. I couldn't actually believe that it happened. So I'm laying on my back, and I'm looking at my leg, and my leg is literally like this, like snapped. So I'm looking at it, and I'm just like screaming. But then I grabbed my leg, and I snapped it back in place because like I did so much to get to where I was at. I wasn't gonna let that stop me. Like, I thought it was just like, you know, when your shoulder pop out of place, you can just snap. I thought it was like that. So when I did that, I put my leg on the ground to get up. But then when I went to get up, I didn't have this ligament, which is the lateral something. It was basically like the lateral ligament of your leg. So without that, you got no support. So when I put my leg down and I went to get up off the ground, like this just fell because I obviously didn't have the support. Yeah. So when that happened, I noticed like, okay, something is wrong. This is not no small injury. So when that happened, it was my mom, my ex at the time. They jumped the fence and they ran to the sidelines with me, and we went in the van. And when I was in the van, I was like, "Mine is over." And she was like, "Don't you ever say," like, she snapped at me like, "Don't you ever say that shit." As much as pain I was in, she like got on my ass about it. And then as I'm in the van, I'm texting my dude from one of my boys named Brian, he working on a lot of mixtapes. So I'm like, yo, football is done. Like, bro, football is done right now. I don't know when it's gonna come back, so I need you to make me a Grammy nominated producer. Like, you know what I'm saying? Make those moves for me. So I still got the text message today. He's like, I got you for sure. Yeah.
So is that how you got into the music?
Yeah, because before that I was working. I think I did like one track with an artist. Matter of fact, I think the day it was Thursday. I sent the beat to Rip Flames, which was the artist that they manage up here. So he recorded to it. He told me he loved it, and I got hurt that weekend.
Yeah.
So like I'm thinking everything's working out, and that happens like damn. You know what I'm saying? So when I texted him, he's like, I got you. So a couple days after that, I want to say I had surgery before I went up there. Or maybe I did. I didn't have surgery before I went up there, did I?
So you left with your knee?
Yeah, I was still like, I was messed up. Like it was like maybe 2 weeks after the injury. I think I had surgery. I'm not sure because that whole time period was kind of blurry because I had like they was giving me Percocets for the pain and stuff. So I know shortly after that I was on crutches and they sent me up. They flew me up to Cleveland to work with Rip. So like I'm on crutches. I got my suitcase and I got a computer. Like I had to bring my whole computer with me.
Yeah.
It's an all-in-one touchscreen, so I had to bring the whole thing with me. Brian picked me up from the airport, and I'm on crutches. I'm in the studio on crutches. We go to the studio. We go to McDonald's first. I get like a little kids meal, some shit just to pass time. And we go to the studio. I make a beat for him in like 10 minutes, and this shit is like fire. Cause I had like before I got up there, I preloaded like samples that I wanted to use for him. So that was like the first one I just loaded up for him, and then yeah, they liked my music, and we went to a session the next day, and it was like some like label execs in there, and I played him like another one. He got on another one, and then they were like, "You think about managing better than Woo?" So after that, they flew me up again, and it was like the same situation. So I moved from college. I dropped out of grad school in December and just drove straight up to Cleveland. Like after the semester was over, I just packed my car up. My boy came down. We drove up. We drove up to Cleveland from North Carolina, so I was like a 12-hour drive or something. So I got up there and I was like living on couches, staying at my aunt's house, and I stayed at my boy Tyler's spot, and I was just like staying in Cleveland. I was just basically doing what it took to just get it done. You know what I'm saying? Because I knew that, okay, this door closed, so another door potentially under management in I think around April. So when I did that, I moved back home because my mom got sick, and I had to go. My sister plays pro tennis, so I had to go to Columbia with her for a week. And that was cool. She made it to the semifinals, which was big because it was a huge tournament. So I got home and I was working with her, and yeah.
So that happened after the surgery, or before?
Yeah, all that happened after the surgery. I had surgery in October 6th and January 6th. So I was on crutches from September to January. So yeah.
So how was it working with River Flames?
Working with Rip is dope because he like all the stuff I like, so it's easy to make music with him. I don't have to think about okay, I'm gonna make him like you know what I'm saying. It's just we just vibe. Like, that's my dog, so working with him is cool.
So who else have you worked with?
Since in this past year I've been actually in the music industry. I worked with Yo Gotti.
How was that?
That was dope because I didn't even know. This how it happened, right? I sent my manager like I think my top 10 beats. I thought was like my top beats. So just like some trap beats, some like crossover type, just all type of records, right? So I sent it to him, and I'm not thinking nothing of it. I'm just like I just sent it to him like, yo, if somebody wants something, you just pick from this pack or whatever. So like maybe a month later, Thomas hit me up. He's like, yo, Gotti picked a couple of the beats you sent in that pack. So I'm seeing this like, damn, like Yo Gotti, one of my favorite artists. So that shit to me was like, if he just rapped one of my beats, you know what I'm saying? That's live. So I'm like, okay, cool. Just let me know which ones. I think I sent him like some happy face and all. I just sent him some, some goofy kid shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I told him like, yo, just let me know which ones he used so I could put them aside so I don't send him to nobody else. He's like, all right, cool. So a day later, he sent me like 6 beats, like 6 names of the beats. I'm like, oh shit, like this is crazy. Like he really used all of these. So I'm like, all right, bet. So I put them to the side, and then we went. That was in June, maybe. Yeah, I think that was in. It was like May photo, so that was in June. He told me that. So then fast forward to October now, me and my girl went to New York. We just like went for a little vacation in New York. So I'm in New York and then he hit me like my manager hit me up, Passion Time hit me up like, yo, we in New York, we about to pull up on your Gotti today. How long you in New York? I'm like, shit, I'm here till whenever. If y'all pull up on him tomorrow, I'm here. The day after that, I'm here. Just let me know what's up. So they pulled up, they stayed at the hotel. So they went and linked up with him before. And it was like, yo, Gotti played us the record he got for you. The shit is a smash. And he was like, guess what he calling it? I'm like, what is he calling it? So I'm really thinking like, what could he be calling it for y'all to be telling me? It's like, you know what I'm saying? So it was like, he calling this shit Mitch. It's like the chorus is money making Mitch, da da da. So I'm like, oh shit, like
that's so much.
yeah, like damn, that's you know what I'm saying. So to me that was like I couldn't believe it till I got to the studio that day, that night, and I met Gotti, I met his A&R, I met his DJ, just a couple of his people, and yeah, it was crazy. He was like, yeah, let me play you the shit I did on your beat. So he played it for me. I'm just sitting there like, I'm trying not to just be like a little kid. I'm in there like just being serious. But I'm listening to it. I'm like, in my head, I'm like, man, this shit really got my name. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, damn, this shit really got my name in it. So after the song came off, I'm like, man, that shit hard as fuck. I'm still trying to hold back. I ain't trying to be like, damn, bro, this shit crazy. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, yeah, that shit hard, man. That shit, I'm fucking with that. He's like, yeah, you got some more beats? He asked me that. I'm like, man, hell yeah. Like, what you mean? I got my book bag with me. So I pulled up a beat. He did something on that, pulled up another beat. He did something on that, pulled up another beat. He did something on that. So I'm like, this dude he just like, I like the way he works because he really works efficiently. You know what I'm saying? He in the studio, he in there getting shit done. He not just, you could tell he got the plaques for a reason. He just ain't stumble on hit records. Like, he really work at it. So I like working with him because he knocked out them 3 records like nothing. So that was cool. So like I had the previous 6 with him. He released it called Money Making Mitch. He released it on Halloween with a video. And it's kind of funny because the time he shot the video, say he shot the video in June. I was actually in England in June, and the video was shot in England. So it was like kind of ironic. But yeah, I got a bunch of stuff with him. It was dope working with him.
And who else have you worked with?
T.I., Young Dro, Hustle Gang. That session was cool as hell too, cause I'm a huge T.I. fan as well. So we got that session. We initially came in, we met Till, we met Dro, we met everybody in there. So we went to the Studio B. I forget what studio it was. Some studio in Atlanta. It's $100.
Yeah.
But we went to Studio B, and my manager was like, yo, Tip about to come here. You gotta play some beats for him. He was like, you got some shit for him? I'm looking at him like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what's about to go on, you know, because like at that time we was in Atlanta for like 2 weeks, and like we had artists pull up at the studio, and like every time they just hear the first beat, they just, okay, I want this one. Like, they pick the first beat. So me and him kind of got that thing like we go 1 for 1 when it comes to artists picking beats. So T.I. came in, and I started playing the beats. And he like he fucking with it. So he fucking with the first one. So I'm like, he's like, yeah, put that in a folder for me. So he put that. I put that aside. I gave it to the engineer. I think his name Elliot. So I gave it to Elliot. Then I played the second beat, and Dro was in there too with him. So it was like T.I., Dro, I think Tiny was in there. Just like a couple people was in there.
Yeah.
So I played the second beat, and it was like a dancehall type beat. And I was like, okay, if like, cause I remember like my favorite record from him is like the joint he did with Rihanna. So I'm like, okay, this is like a potential crossover type record. So I was kind of iffy on it, cause I'm like maybe feeling like, cause when I play beats I like to kind of gauge the vibe, but I couldn't really gauge his vibe. So I'm like, I'm gonna just play some shit. You know what I'm saying? So I played that, and then he turned around and Tiny, he was like, this is a motherfucking beat. And then him and Dro like the energy just went crazy. They started dancing. They was just like, it was just some cool shit for me. Like they started dancing and like they was really having fun. And then I'm like, okay, they gonna use it. So I'm going to another. He like, nah, play that back. So Dro write his whole verse, go in there do his thing. T.I. go in there do his thing. So I'm in there like this is really happening in my face. And it was like 4 o'clock in the morning. So that was something. Yeah. You know, we just talking about down there, T.I.
What artists do you like? What artists are you working with now, currently?
Currently, of course, you know, working with Rip. I'm always working with Rip. We're always working on like new projects and new sounds. Recently, I started working with an artist named Lex Ora from Sacramento. Working on his project, and it's sounding crazy. I think he's gonna be a huge artist. So yeah, right now he actually down here right now with me. So we studio every day, working on projects, references, whatever it is. But We got a big project coming up.
Have anything else coming up? Anything? Oh, you said you work with T.I. How's that going? How's that going?
That music is sounding crazy. The record we got, I think I may have one or two on the Hustle Game project, but the initial record that I heard, it sounded amazing. I know everybody in Grand Hustle loves it, talking to some of those guys, so I'm really interested to see what happens with that record and when they put it out, how people will receive it, so that's something.
How do you feel about your accomplishments right now?
I feel like it's almost unreal to just be able to say, yeah, I work with God, yeah, I work with T, I work with this guy, like it's dope because I know some people work in the industry for years and they can't really reach these people, so for me to be able to say I work with them is really a huge blessing, and shout out to my management for
What do
me.
you think about today's music, the generation of music?
I think it's cool. Like we got platforms now like SoundCloud and that people that you may have never heard, you can hear them now on different levels. So it's cool.
Like, what do you mean? Like, you think it's cool?
Like, say for instance, you had an artist like Excess Expectation, for example. Like maybe 10 years ago, you probably never would have heard of him because a platform like SoundCloud wasn't as big as it is today. So I feel like we're getting new artists in the game that may not have that chance. So now you don't need a label to come find you singing at some hip hop club downtown. Like, now you have a different way to put your music out that you don't need those resources.
How are you? What are you like?
I'm a cool, laid back person, but I'm also like really ambitious and straightforward and like I go get it. So I don't know, you really have to just get to know me to know what type of person I am.
Oh, so what would somebody just describe you as, type of person?
I don't know what you describe me as from me to me. You know what I mean? Like I don't know. Like I think I'm a likable person, but if like when it comes to business, I'm real straight to it. So I feel like I don't know, like anybody you would have things you like or dislike, but I don't think I have people that just don't like me, or at least they don't let me know that they don't like me. So
you ain't got no haters?
I probably do. I probably got a lot of them, but they doing a good job disguising themselves. But a lot of people love me, so I don't even really pay attention to people who don't like me.
So what do you like? What do you do in free time when you're not inside?
My free time, I like to really just watch movies, TV. I like sci-fi, adventure stuff, fantasy movies, stuff like that.
Yeah. So what advice would you give somebody that's, starting out to be a producer?
If you're starting to be a producer, my first advice is you got to be ready to work. Everything's not gonna come to you like this. So the number one thing got to be your work ethic. You got to be ready to grind by yourself because basically until something happens to change the situation, you're gonna be doing this by yourself unless you got like somebody supporting you or whatever the case may be. You just gotta go hard at it. Like anything in life, if you start a business tomorrow, you gotta be ready to take some losses and just have a winning mentality. Even if you lose, you win. Like you might lose, but you may learn something.
Alright, so what do you think? You know how you got injured and then right then there you got flight to Cleveland, how you work with a rapper. Would you say that's fate or was it luck?
No, that's definitely faith. That's faith for sure. I don't put luck. I think luck is really just like hard work and faith coming together. Like that's what people describe luck as. But I don't think I'm lucky in that sense at all. Like the things that are meant to happen are happening. And it's just up to me to take advantage of that.
What kind of genre music do you like? You prefer to listen to?
I prefer to listen to reggae because I grew up on reggae music, so that's like my first. And then like rap, hip hop, but I really listen to mainly like I'm a real big like FA Twigs fan. Sampler, I love Sampler's music. I really like anything that sounds good to me. I'm not just gonna say I like rap because I make rap beats, but.
Any last words you want to share with everybody else?
Yeah, y'all follow me on Instagram, Mitch Mula. It's the same on SoundCloud, Twitter, and all of that. Yeah.